Hi there, it's Brian O'Farrell here from Talent Pool Recruitment based in Sydney. I just put together this video. I've never done a video before, so apologies if it's not great. Just to help give some guidance and tips for the market mapping job seeker planner. Basically, running Talent Pool Recruitment, I've been in recruitment for 10 years. This is the type of advice that I'd give friends and family in moments of potential crisis where they're out of work or facing potentially redundancy or something like this. Again, I haven't done something like this before, so hopefully this helps. So in the attachment on my LinkedIn post here, you'll be able to see there's two examples. There's one example of an Excel where as if it was an account manager out of work of how they would begin to market map how to get a new job, and then there's another one that you can download that's blank. Download that. Throughout this video, there's 5 stages on the Excel, so you can pause me. Hopefully this works, and then you can basically go through each point and start building up companies, and ideally start building pipeline as to getting your next role or getting back into work in the tough times that we've got. So basically, hopefully you've got the Excel downloaded. On step 1, this is all your past employers. This is important anywhere that you've ever worked, putting all your companies down, because in an environment like this, especially right now where a lot of people are working from home, if you've worked in one of these companies before, you'll know that maybe some of the team members and systems and processes to be able to get back up to speed. So if you left on good terms, if you've got good relationships, that could be a great way back in to actually get yourself another job if you find yourself out of work. So that's step 1. So get up to speed on that, and then let's move to step 2. So this is possible referrals. So this is huge. So a lot of the large tech companies and everything, they love a referral. What this will help you do, this will help you skip over where there's a huge amount of job applicants, especially in a market like this where a lot of people are unemployed. Basically compiling some family, friends, and ex-colleagues. These are the type of people that will be able to refer you into companies and be very, very helpful. So the best way to find potentially ex-colleagues is one by one. Say if you worked at a Qantas or a Woolworths or a Telstra, put that word into LinkedIn, then click First Connections and go through everybody that you're first connected with from these companies that you once worked at, and it'll start to jog your memory of maybe managers or colleagues or in your team or in different other teams that you got along well with. Write down all of their names and write down where they're working now. So this would be an incredible way that, especially if you worked well with these people, got along well, they're more likely to refer you into the company that they're at, should they be hiring. Then, let me see. And then obviously in friends and family, do the exact same thing. Have an idea of where your friends and family are working, and write those companies down as well. Add that all to the list, because this is all possible ways which will skip all the job applicants. So it'll give you a good opportunity to get in. Obviously, alongside every single one of these steps, you'll see that you're going to be creating a job link, so you'll be able to monitor all of these companies that friends, family, anyone is. If any of them are advertising roles and across different mediums, I've put up their current job board, Seek, Indeed, LinkedIn, and stuff like that. It'll just be this list is going to be very, very good to get a pulse check of through all of your connections and relationships as to what all those companies are doing with minimal effort. So ideally, fast track the process to getting up to speed and getting into these companies. So you can pause me again, and we'll go to step 3. Step 3 is basically competitors. So anywhere that you've worked, if you go online, and you can even write down competitors of these places. It could be Woolworths, and then you're looking at things like Coles. If it's Qantas, it could be like Virgin Airlines, and on. Telstra, you've got Optus and these types of things. Write down all the competitors of everywhere that you've ever worked and put these in step 3. Basically, because if you were to be applying or getting referred or whatever into these places, if you've already got not only just knowledge in whatever you're doing job-wise, but if you've got industry experience as well, that'll actually help you hide. The internal recruiters, or if it's an external recruiter, they'll be able to see that, and that'll kind of bring your application a bit further to the top. But yeah, because they know that you'll be able to get up to speed a lot faster and maybe bring some insights that you've learned in some of their competitors. So this is definitely another good one of looking at it. If you're trying to figure out, no, that's it. Pause, and step 4. Step 4, complementary industries. This is like companies that hire your skills, but not necessarily a competitor. So there's lots of different examples of this, but a really good way to find out who has hired people like you. You can trial different searches. Go on to LinkedIn. Say if I'm a software engineer in Java and I worked at Qantas, I would search Qantas in LinkedIn, and then I would put in inverted commas Java developer or different types of software engineering, and I would search. After I search, I would then, now I don't necessarily know all these people that once worked at Qantas, but hopefully this search will bring up a lot of people that once worked at Qantas and is a Java developer. Now what I would do with that is I would put it into Sydney, and I would start to scroll through all of these profiles. I'd start to scroll through all of these profiles and basically see where they're working, because that would give me an indication that these companies have a similar environment because they've hired people from Qantas before and that are Java developers. So it's giving me a good insight that these companies are a complementary environment. So I'd build up a huge list of this of places, and then let me see. Pause and let's go to step 5. Step 5 is your support network. This would be directed towards external recruiters. External recruiters can be very beneficial because you'll be able to leverage their long-lasting trusted relationships. If they've got some of these in companies that will be complementary to your skill set, they'll be able to potentially fast-track a process for you to skip job applicants, or maybe in some circumstances they'll get difficult to fill roles that the companies won't even advertise themselves. So it's worth always speaking to your different recruiters. If you don't have any recruitment relationships, ask some friends maybe in a similar industry to yourself of who they used and been successful with. You'll figure out pretty fast that you'll have a few recruiters and they'll have a bunch of relationships that they've got commercial terms with themselves. So this will definitely help you. Where recruiters can be of more assistance is, let me see, basically a recruiter is like an industry researcher. So if hypothetically I specialized in Java, I'm basically studying every Java company in, say, Sydney. So because I want to work with them, to do business with them. So on the flip side, I kind of have a pulse check of everything that's going on in the industry. I know who's hiring. I might know who's letting people go. I'll have an idea. So if somebody was to say hypothetically call me, now this is if you're dealing with good recruiters, if someone was to call me, I might have a few relationships that would match your skill set. But then outside of that, because I'm an industry researcher, I might know of a few other companies that I don't have commercial terms with that I'll refer to you anyway. So I'll be able to offer you a few that may be hiring right now, but also give you some insights of others that are hiring, which if you're dealing with good recruiters, they'll do this for you, which would be very helpful. And then finally, which would be one of the most beneficial ways of working with a recruiter is if for some reason your industry has kind of stopped hiring or really slowed down, you might need to transition your skill set. And some things that come to mind at the moment, it would be like some of the restaurants and cafes and bars kind of closing down. That if you were dealing with, say, some good hospitality recruiters that know what they're doing, they might be able to transition your skill set into different customer success roles for maybe online education platforms that are doing well in this environment. Or maybe later on start to sell different types of software into hospitality. You've got that skill set that is very customer focused, that some people will have the knowledge to be able to help you merge that into another industry really fast. And again, that's like a complementary industry. Again, depending on what your skill set is, you could look up people on LinkedIn again and try and get some insights as to maybe how somebody was once a restaurant manager and now that they're working in a software company, and what software company is that? Or they're working in the customer success role for online education. Which online education? Start to do all this research yourself and document all of these companies, and you'll start to build up a great pipeline of people that are interested in your skill sets. You've got different support networks to introduce you if you don't have any friends or family or ex-colleagues in these places. So all together with this, you want to try and complete as many of these steps immediately once you have to download this document, and constantly building on it. And it's got things to figure out. If leads are warm, you'll have some ex-colleagues and stuff say that, yeah, they'd absolutely hire you, but they're not hiring right now. That's still a warm lead that you can follow up on, and you can monitor their job board. And so if you've got enough of this activity going on all in one place, you'll be able to build and build and build on this, ideally to the point that you you get yourself back into work, or you might even navigate yourself up to your dream job. So I hope this helps. This is my first video, and I haven't done something like this before, so I'll keep on building on this and trying to improve everything should people find this beneficial. So ideally, if this works for you, you get a job, please let me know so I know that this is actually helping. And make sure, just on some of the things that I want, is anybody that downloads this and uses this, make sure to help 4 others, because on that network effect, if everybody that downloads this and this helps them, if they can help 4 more people on the condition that they help 4 more people, ideally this will really start helping a lot of the unemployment in Australia and overseas, if this comes across you, to get back into work. Stay positive, and we're all one team, so let's smash this together, and I'll speak to you soon.